Yep, another Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster discussion video. In this video I want to break down and discuss all of the new features the games will have, what we know about the games from trailers, screenshots, developer interviews, new Suikoden merchandise, and a little bit of speculation. But before I get into that, I just want to say that I will have more Suikoden theory and ranking videos coming soon. The theory videos are very time consuming to make. Between writing them, recording them, grabbing the game footage and screenshots needed, and then editing them, they take quite a bit of time to make, especially the longer ones like the Vicky and Hugo videos, which ended up being over 20 minutes each. But those two videos were actually heavily edited, as the original cuts of them were around 40 minutes each. Now, some people have been asking for a Gene video. It is coming, I don't know when, but it will happen. So with that out of the way, let's quickly go over the new Suikoden merchandise before we discuss the game features. Konami announced two new Suikoden items for their store that are currently up for pre-order. The first is the Symphonic Poem from Suikoden with animation music video bundle. This bundle consists of a Blu-ray recording of the Symphonic Poem from Suikoden concert that was held in Tokyo in October 2022. It also includes a fabric map of the Suikoden 2 map, a Soul Eater medallion, a Suikoden engraved leather pouch, and 6 postcards. The Blu-ray will also include a bonus feature of an original animated Suikoden music video. The Japanese version of this release will include a Suikoden themed tote bag and a Suikoden calendar instead of the map, medallion, and leather pouch. The bundle is expected to release in March 2025 and will cost $100 plus shipping. I think the Soul Eater medallion looks pretty cool, and I'm curious to see what the animated Suikoden music video will look like. You can get a little glimpse of it as the postcards are still images of the music video. For those who are only interested in the Blu-ray for the concert and the animated music video, you're out of luck. Currently it can only be purchased in this bundle. The second new item is the Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster soundtrack 7 CD set. As they describe it, a beautiful set of 7 CDs with the original soundtrack and arrangements of popular tracks. Includes a booklet featuring the track list of each CD with amazing artwork from the Suikoden games. Basically, it's an extended soundtrack of both Suikoden 1 and 2. It consists of 179 tracks across both games. This same CD set was also announced for Japan, except that the Japanese set will have 9 CDs instead of 7. The extra 2 CDs in the Japanese release include the soundtracks for both Suikoden Volume 1 and Volume 2, so Japan gets 2 extra soundtracks for a lower price. The bundle costs $80 plus shipping and is expected to release in January 2025. One thing I'd like to point out about this is that even though it's just a soundtrack, it could be a sign that the Suikoden games will not be included in the remasters as some of us have been hoping for. Konami did file for a trademark for the Suikoden games in Japan around the same time they began development of the Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remasters. The Suikoden soundtracks being omitted from the Western release of the box set, but being included in the Japanese set could be a sign that the games may potentially be included with the Japanese release of the remaster, but not with the Western release. Please don't take my word about the Suikoden games being included with the remaster as a fact, as that's total speculation on my part. But if that does end up happening, I suspect Konami will have lost a lot of goodwill they've regained with the fans. Now, with the merch out of the way, let's get into the remasters themselves. The UI has been completely overhauled. A lot of fans, myself included, hated the UI in the original reveal of the remasters, dismissing it as something that looked like it was pulled out of RPG Maker. Konami listened, took it to heart, and overhauled the UI, and it's looking good. Not everyone thinks so. There's still a small portion of fans who hate the new UI and prefer the original classic UI. I think the new battle UI looks fantastic. The portraits, HP bar, rune uses are all shown at the top right, and it's looking really pretty. I'm loving the color scheme and the information placement in it. Information for each command scrolls along the bottom of the screen, which is really helpful, especially for new players who don't know what each spell may do. To those people that played Suikoden 1, You know the pain of your first playthrough where spells had no description in battle, so this is a very welcome change. Suikoden 1's inventory has been overhauled and has a totally new interface. Though unfortunately all we have of it is a single screenshot and no footage. We haven't seen it in use yet, so it's too early to say if it's better or not than the original. The option to double or quadruple the battle speed has been implemented into the remasters. Suikoden already has a very fast-paced battle system, but this feature will be very useful for people who don't particularly care about combat in games and would prefer to spend more time experiencing the story. It will also be a very useful feature for those who simply don't have as much time to play games as they used to. An auto-battle function has been added into the remasters. Suikoden already has an auto command in battles, but that command only automates a single turn at a time and your characters will only perform basic attacks. The new auto battle feature will allow you to automate the entire battle at the push of a button. Your characters will automatically attack for every turn until you turn the feature off. Combine that with the new battle speed feature and it'll make level grinding to get over leveled very simple. Not that you need to level grind, as outside of certain rare moments, Suikoden has never been a particularly challenging game. I'd like to see this feature implemented in a way similar to how the auto function worked in Eiyuden Chronicle, where you could assign commands in the menu to determine how the AI behaved when auto-attacking. Unfortunately, that probably won't happen, and it's likely just an expanded auto-attack command where your characters do basic attacks until you disable it. A conversation log has been added. The conversation log will give us the ability to scroll back through conversations. It'll be useful for people who forgot what an NPC said, or if you've taken a sharp break and can't remember what you were last doing or where you were meant to be going, or even just to reread over a funny or interesting conversation. It's a simple addition, but it's a nice addition. An in-game map has been added. I'm not talking about Templeton's world map, but instead area maps have been added that we can bring up at the push of a button. So far it has only been confirmed that this map can be pulled up in towns, but I'm hoping it can also be pulled up in dungeons. All of the in-game character portraits have been updated. Junko Kawano, the original character artist for Suikoden 1, has redrawn all of the character portraits for the Suikoden 1 remaster, while all of the Suikoden 2 character portraits have been touched up and have also been improved in quality. Some people really dislike the new portraits, calling them too smooth, too clean, lacking the detail of the originals. I can see where they're coming from. They do lack the charm of the pixel art portraits. I love the original portraits, but I really like the new portraits too. Well, for the most part anyway. I really dislike Taiho's new portrait. He's got a weirdly shaped square face. A new autosave feature has been added to the game. Every time you enter a screen with a save crystal, the game will automatically save into save slot 0. I think this feature would be better implemented if it auto-saved every time you entered a new area, like entered a new town, entered a dungeon, and so on. Only saving when you reach a screen with a save crystal really defeats the purpose of autosave. You're going to manually save when you get to the save crystal anyway. The Steam page confirms that there will be achievements. For those of you that care about that, I don't. I couldn't care less about achievements. I never saw the appeal, but hey, a lot of people love achievements. The game is confirmed to launch with 9 languages: Japanese, English, French, Italian, German, Simplified Chinese, Traditional Chinese, Spanish, and Spanish Latin America. I'm not really sure what the difference is between Spanish and Latin American Spanish, but hey. Now, obviously everyone knows about the HD backgrounds, the new shadows, environmental sound effects like rivers, wind, insects, the running footsteps, etc. So I won't go into detail on them, except to quickly say that shadows seem to have been improved, sound effects have been altered to be closer to the original games, and some graphical effects like runes and unite attacks have been altered from the original reveal to now better resemble the original games. I saw another YouTuber, Titanium Legman, who said that the original versions of the games are confirmed to be included in the remaster, that it was stated you can switch back to the original versions of the games if you preferred. Then someone made a post about that video on Reddit asking if it was true, so let me just say, that is not true at all. This information has not been stated or confirmed by Konami or anybody involved in the development of the game. It has not been confirmed as a feature, it is pure speculation. Again, it has not been stated or confirmed by anybody involved in the development of the game. Not by Konami, not by the director, not by the producer. A screenshot leak from the demo at Tokyo Game Show back in 2022 showed the original versions of the games being playable in the remaster. I think this is where people have been basing the information on. Many people saw that screenshot and immediately ran with it as a confirmation as if it was fact. So yes, the original version of Suikoden 1 was playable in the Tokyo Game Show demo, but the original versions of the games were only selectable and accessible through a developer debug menu and not an actual in-game menu, as the screenshots I've translated show. The main menu of the game from the leak screenshots only show Suikoden 1 HD Remaster, Suikoden 2 HD Remaster, Gallery, Language Selection, and Game Instructions. As you can see, there is no option for the originals. It was only playable through the debug menu. Now, I'm not saying that they aren't included, as the Tokyo Game Show demo clearly showed that they are in fact playable, but they could very well have only been included in the demo, again, through the debug menu, to showcase the difference between the versions and to show off what has changed and what is new. The question is, will they be included in the final release? It's possible, in fact, it's very likely that they will be. The director of the remasters, Takahiro Sakayama, was asked about the original versions being playable during an interview, and he playfully laughed and replied, "No comment." Also, the Amazon store page listing for the physical copies of the games have 3 screenshots of the original versions of Suikoden 1 and 2, along with several screenshots of the HD remasters. All of the screenshots from both versions of the games have the Konami Digital Entertainment copyright stamp on them. I searched through all of the official Konami and Suikoden websites, both the English and Japanese sites, and those 3 screenshots of the original games were nowhere to be found. It appears that these were screenshots provided to stores by Konami, and Amazon may have jumped the gun by uploading them a little earlier than they were supposed to. So with the playable demo leak, Takahiro Sakayama's playful response, and the Amazon store screenshots, it appears that the original versions of the games may in fact be included. Again, I want to reiterate that this information has not been confirmed by Konami themselves, and is simply speculation based on those 3 points. When I posted about it on Twitter, I presented it as speculation and wishful thinking, so until, or unless, it gets confirmed by Konami, the director, or the producer themselves, please don't go running around getting all excited and acting like it's a fact that the originals will be included and then getting disappointed and upset if it doesn't happen. So again, it has not been confirmed or stated anywhere by anyone involved in the development of the game that they'll be included. It's just speculation and a safe guess based on several pieces of information. Again, not confirmed. Just a last minute edit. I'm recording this part while editing the video. At the time of recording, the Amazon store page showed screenshots of the original games, but today, a day later while I'm editing the video, all screenshots of the original games have been removed from the store pages. So did Amazon jump the gun and reveal something they weren't supposed to yet? Or were they just correcting an error? As I said earlier, those screenshots of the original games contain the Konami copyright stamp on them, and those screenshots aren't available on any official Konami or Suikoden website. Those screenshots were likely provided to stores by Konami themselves, because if not, I don't know where Amazon could have gotten them from. And back to the video. And as you can see, the screenshot leak also showed gallery and game instruction options. Nothing has been officially revealed or announced regarding these options yet, but director Takahiro Sakayama and producer Yasuo Daikai were asked about the inclusion of concept art or museum pieces, and they replied no comment. But as there is a gallery option on the main menu, it appears likely we'll be seeing character art or concept art of some kind. Or if it's anything like the gallery from the PSP ports of Suikoden 1 and 2, we might be able to listen to the game's soundtracks or rewatch certain scenes from the games. The game instructions option is pretty self-explanatory. It's likely to be a digital version of the manuals the games originally launched with. Now it's time for some little nitpicky gripes. The Liberation Army and Imperial Army flags in the war system are tiny. You really have to squint to see them. They definitely need to be redrawn and enlarged. Also, the duels have some inconsistency in information displayed. You have attack, defend, and special. However, when you use a special attack, it's listed as a wild attack in the information box. Wild attack was the translation in the original games. Just a little inconsistency nitpick. But hey, no big deal. As I said, minor nitpicky gripes, and we're still 6 months away from release. There's plenty of time for these to be addressed and fixed. Are there any other features you guys would like to see added to the game? Things that Konami haven't revealed yet? Or are there any things you'd like changed about the features they have revealed? As I mentioned earlier, I'd like to see the new auto battle feature implemented similar to how it was in Eiyuden Chronicle, where they gave you full control over how your party fights when using the auto command. You could assign commands to the party in your menu, like you could set your party up to use items, magic, or you could have them conserve magic by only doing basic attacks. You could restrict them from using items. You could allow them to fight freely, or you could simply restrict them to basic attacks. Unfortunately, I don't think that will be the case, and the auto battle feature will likely just be an expanded auto attack feature where your party will only perform basic attacks. Another feature on my wish list would be for them to restore cut content, to finish and implement the secret dungeon in Suikoden 2. For anyone unaware, there was a secret dungeon that never made the final release of Suikoden 2. It was unfinished and cut from the game. You can see the entrance in Saja Village at the end of the game. The entrance is blocked off by a boulder. I'd also like to see them add a New Game Plus option, although I don't think either of those things are going to happen. Another thing I'd like to see, and I really hope they release, is the demo version of the game. Many American fans of the series may not know this, but Suikoden 2 had a demo that was released in Japan and Europe. It was included with Metal Gear Solid in Japan and with Vandal Hearts 2 in Europe. The demo let you play up to the Mist Monster in North Sparrow Pass, and it also included a special battle mode where you'd travel through North Sparrow Pass, which was renamed to Trial Road, and you'd fight your way through a bunch of enemies until you reached Luca Blight. There wasn't really any story in the battle mode, but it did allow you to play with 16 different characters, I believe. Also, the name North Sparrow Pass is actually a mistranslation. The actual translation would be North Swallow Pass. And one last thing I'd like to see is for them to add the extra content that was in the Sega Saturn port of Suikoden 1. The Sega Saturn version had some extra scenes in the game, one with the pirates and one I won't talk about for spoiler reasons. It had 3 different minigames compared to the PlayStation 1 version. I think it would be cool to see those added as additions, so that each minigame NPC would have 2 minigames to choose from. The Saturn port also included a battleground trial where you could battle enemies and earn prizes, like the Darkness Rune and Silver Armor, which weren't in the PlayStation 1 version of Suikoden 1. It also included some weird pet cat Tamagotchi thing, but we don't talk about that. Unfortunately, I don't think they'll be adding any of the Sega Saturn content, but hey, I can wish. So that's my wish list. A whole bunch of stuff that I know damn well they'll never include. But what about you guys? What features or changes would you guys like to see added to the game? Before I end the video, I want to circle back to the achievements for the last couple of minutes of the video. So if you haven't played Suikoden before, please stop watching here as there will be potential spoilers ahead and I don't want to ruin any game moments for you. So thanks for watching and I'll catch you on the next video. Potential spoilers ahead in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you are still watching and you get spoiled, you are warned, so that's on you. Now, for those of you who have played Suikoden before, let's talk potential achievements. What type of achievements are you expecting in the remasters? Obviously, we'll have our safe bet guesses like sharpen a weapon or sharpen all weapons to max level, gather all 108 stars of destiny, use a unite attack, view a bat scene, max potch, one after each story event, beat the game, etc. But what about achievements you'll have to go out of your way to get? Achievements like collect all books, window and sound settings, complete Ivanov's painting, playing and winning the minigames X amount of times, or winning a certain amount of potch from the minigames. What about Suikoden 2 achievements? Do you think there'll be secret achievements, like completing Clive's time-restricted side quest, which most of the fanbase really seems to hate doing, as we like to pace ourselves and enjoy our time with the game, regardless of if it's our 100th playthrough or not? Do you think there'll be achievements for recruiting all of the squirrels, or possibly the Krakens like Abisboa, Relodia and Chuchara? Perhaps one for letting Ridley die and recruiting Boris? Maybe one for viewing the bad endings like running away in Tinto or killing Joey, recruiting MacDull? Maybe one for earning a certain amount of money through trade, complete the cooking questline and get all the recipes? Do you think they'll give punishing achievements like level someone to 99, or perhaps to defeat Luca Blight with only Ryu in your party? But what do you guys think? Any thoughts on what achievements they'll add, or are there any you hope they'll add? Again, personally, I don't care about achievements, never have, not my thing, but I know a lot of people do like achievements, so that's why I'm here talking about them. Are there any other features or changes you'd like to see them make to the remasters? Are you happy with the changes you've seen that they've made to the game already and are satisfied as it is? And as I mentioned earlier, don't worry guys, I will be making more theory videos soon. It's just that, as I said, theory videos are very time consuming to make. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you all on the next video.